Hello, friends. Welcome to Trivia Over Tea, the quiz show podcast where we drink tea and play trivia. I'm your host, Matthew Cook, and I'm here virtually with our guest scorekeeper, Lucas Hauser. Lucas, how are you today?
I'm doing great. We listen a lot to the groundhog, February 2nd, giving us indications of what weather we're going to have, but he was dead wrong this year. Tomorrow it's going to be 80 degrees here in Williamsburg, and I'm very excited. I unfortunately do not have any tea with me, but I had Dr. Pepper at lunch, so I think that's close enough.
Oh, well, you definitely seem energized enough. Sadly, it will be warmer in Williamsburg than it will be in Los Angeles tomorrow. My watch is telling me 63 degrees, which makes me very sad. It means I have to wear jeans, but whatever. Anyway, well, thank you for stepping in as scorekeeper today, Lucas. Let's meet this week's contestants. First, we have Kevin.
Hello, my name is Kevin. The fun fact I always go to is that I own 60 Stephen King books, but I've only read 7. And then also, I live in Rochester, so it is 20 degrees out. So the groundhog means nothing to me. And my tea is pomegranate white tea from Trader Joe's.
Very good. Well, thank you for being on, Kevin. For those of you who are listening out there, we've been trying to get Kevin on the podcast for literally like 6 months. So we're glad that it's finally worked out now. And we also have Evan.
Hi, I'm Evan. I am an opera singer, among other things. I guess my fun fact is that I also write pop songs in my spare time. Today I'm drinking a simple Lipton black tea.
Very nice. You can catch Evan at your friendly suburban Philadelphia, New Jersey brewery. Yeah. Or something. Yeah. Well, thank you, Evan, for being here again. I am nursing the last bits of my English breakfast tea, which I've been nursing for 3 episodes now. So anyway, well, thank you both for being here today. We'll have 4 rounds of questions, as with all of our shows, each with a slightly different format. And so without further ado, Lucas will explain the rules for round 1.
Yeah, that's right. Round 1 is our first general knowledge round, consisting of 5 multiple choice questions for each player. Correct answers here are worth 10 points each.
All righty, Kevin, you're up first. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, here we go. Question 1. On December 8th, 1941, Congress voted to declare war on the Empire of Japan after the attacks on Pearl Harbor. How many members of Congress, House or Senate, voted against the declaration of war? A, 0, B, 1, or C, 3?
A, 0.
It was actually B, 1. Jeanette Pickering Rankin, a women's rights advocate and pacifist congresswoman from Montana, voted against declaring war on Japan. The vote effectively ended her political career. Question 2. In 1996, Hasbro released the first line of what series of toys where the user must follow the command by doing a certain action on the toy? A, Uno, B, Twister, or C, Bop It?
C, Bop It.
That's correct. Bop it, twist it, pull it. Yeah. Question 3. What word best describes music in which a primary element of the performance is left to the determination of the performer? A, improvisation, B, aleatoricism, or C, interdeterminacy?
A.
No, we're actually looking for aleatoricism. An example could be each member of a choir deciding for themselves when to start singing a passage and at what tempo to sing it at. Question 4. The number 64 in the hexadecimal system is equal to what number in base 10? A, 64, B, 100, or C, 800? And I'll just say right out of the gate that this question was written by my brother Mason. And when he ran this by me last night, I did not know the answer.
You repeat the question one more time, please,
Of course.
Matthew.
The number 64 in the hexadecimal system is equal to what number in base 10?
I'm going to go with C, 800.
It's actually 100. Hexadecimal, as I learned last night, is base 16. And so 6 times 16 is 96 plus 4 is 100. So there you go.
I knew it.
Yeah, of course. Of course. And finally, question 5. In 1954, Roger Bannister became the first person to do what? A, win 3 gold medals at a single Olympics. B, break 10 seconds on the 100-meter dash. Or C, run a sub 4-minute mile.
C, sub 4-minute mile.
That's correct. On May 6th, 1954, he ran a mile in 3 minutes, 59.4 seconds. He was also a noted neurologist. So there you go. Evan, are you ready for your 5 questions?
So ready.
Okay. Question 1. The Grapes of Wrath and Of Mice and Men are famous Depression-era books by what American author? A, John Steinbeck, B, F. Scott Fitzgerald, or C, William Faulkner?
A, John Steinbeck.
That's correct. Question 2. How many liters of blood does the average human body contain? A, 3, B, 4, or C, 5?
I'm going to go with B, 4.
Actually, it was C, 5.
It's a lot of blood.
It is a lot of blood. Blood is approximately 10% of the body's weight. Question 3. The Sentinelese are a voluntarily isolated group of people that reside in what chain of islands owned by India? A, the Maldives, B, the Andaman Islands, or C, the Chagos Archipelago?
I'm C, the Lagos Archipelago.
No, this one was actually B, the Andaman Islands. Indian law prohibits outsiders from visiting North Sentinel Island and protects the rights of the Sentinelese to remain isolated. Question 4. Which element is liquid at room temperature? A, mercury, B, magnesium, or C, manganese?
I think it's C, manganese.
No, the liquid is actually mercury. A. Yeah, it's one of 2 liquids on the periodic table. The other is bromine, I believe. And finally, question 5. Who was born first? A, Anne Frank, B, Martin Luther King Jr., or C, Betty White?
Betty White, C.
That's correct. She was born in 1922. Martin Luther King Jr. and Anne Frank were both born in 1929. Well, that's the end of round 1. So, Lucas, can you please give us a score update?
Yeah, it is all tied up here at the end of round 1. Kevin has 20 points and Evan has 20 points.
Alrighty, now it is time for round 2. So, Lucas, can you please tell us the rules?
Yeah, absolutely. Round 2 consists of 5 questions directed to each player on the same topic. Correct answers here are now worth 20 points. If a player gets a question wrong, their opponent will have the chance to give the correct answer for 10 points.
Okie dokie. So both of you are going to get a similar category, but slightly different. Kevin, your category is works that entered the public domain in the United States in 2021. So, are you ready?
Yes.
Okay. Question 1. What novel by F. Scott Fitzgerald is set during the Jazz Age on Long Island?
The Great Gatsby.
That's correct. Yes. Start you off with the easy one. The other ones aren't so easy, unfortunately. Question 2. Among the films that entered the public domain last year was Go West, starring what comedian known for his deadpan expression and physical comedy in the silent movie era?
I can't even think of a name to guess. John Wilson.
No. Evan?
You said silent film era?
Yeah.
Is it like Charlie Chaplin?
There's like 2 names that it could possibly be. Charlie Chaplin is one of them, but it's actually the other one. It's Buster Keaton. And Keaton was huge in the silent movie era, and his comedies were immensely popular with the public, including this one. Question 3. What jazz standard by Ben Burney and Maceo Pinkard became the theme song for the Harlem Globetrotters?
Oh, Matthew, you're killing me. Let's see. What's a jazz standard? The Pink Panther. I'm gonna guess the Pink Panther.
Good song, but no. Evan?
Let's take the A train. I don't know.
No, this is called Sweet Georgia Brown.
Good to know.
Yeah, there were connections to the Georgia State Legislature, and one of the representatives recommended that the songwriters name the woman in question after the state. So, Sweet Georgia Brown. Question 4. Another novel that entered public domain in 2021 was what novel by Virginia Woolf that follows the titular high society woman in interwar Britain?
Oh, wait. Okay. Is this, I don't know if this is actually a book, A Life of Margaret Atwood or whatever, the Life of Margaret Atwood?
No. I don't know if that's a book or not, but it's not that. Evan?
It sounds like it's a book.
It sounds bookish.
Yeah, that's definitely somebody wrote that. That's that's a fantastic fantasy, like historical fiction. I don't know. But I guess Jane Eyre. I don't know.
No, this is Mrs. Dalloway.
Never heard of that.
Honestly, me neither. And I will admit that I had my brother write this set of questions, so they tend to be a little more difficult than the ones I write. So
right, he's kind of expecting us to have knowledge of jazz standards or hexadecimal numbering systems.
Yeah,
we just don't have the base level of knowledge to keep up with this.
I heard about hexadecimal yesterday, so for the first time. So
Margaret Atwood is an author, and it was The Handmaid's Tale, which I was going for.
Ah, there you go. I was gonna say I thought that was a real person, but I didn't want to say that for fear of being wrong. So there you go. Very good. Thank you, Kevin. Finally, question 5. What British novelist published The Secret of Chimneys in 1925, a classic murder mystery?
British author. Okay, let's think of a British
But
name.
a lot of murder mysteries.
Let's see.
Murder mysteries.
Theodore Cook.
No. Evan?
Was Hemingway British?
Hemingway was not British.
Well,
He was American.
Oh, he was? I thought he... Okay, well, that was my guess. So, do you want a real British name? I could try.
Sure, go for it.
Clyde Bornold.
Good guess, but no. No, this was Agatha Christie.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
The novel involves fast-paced events between the guests in the house where the murder took place and the police who come to investigate.
Oh, I should have known that. Wow.
Yeah. Well, Evan, your category related is works that entered the public domain in 2022 in the United States. And I should have explained at the onset that in the US, the public domain rule is 95 years after the work was published and enters the public domain. And so these would be works that were published before January 1st, 1927. So there you go. Basically the year 1926 is what we're looking for here. So are you ready?
Sure.
Question 1. Perhaps the most famous text to enter the public domain in 2022 was the 1926 book by A.A. Milne that marked the debut of what honey-eating bear?
You said what honey-eating bear?
honey-eating bear?
Winnie the Pooh.
That's correct. Yes.
Yes.
Question 2. Another classic novel entering the public domain in 2022 is what novel written by Ernest Hemingway that follows the travels of an American and a Brit on their way to Pamplona?
American and a Brit heading to Pamplona.
Running with the Bulls.
Running with the Bulls. Oh gosh. I have absolutely no idea. So let's just make up a title. Why not?
Go for it.
Since I clearly didn't know Hemingway was an American. So an American in Spain. Let's go with.
No.
American is.
Kevin?
Well, I can't seem to think of any Ernest Hemingway books, but I was thinking it was going to be the Great Expectations, but that's Charles Dickens, so that's not right.
Yeah, that's Dickens. Is that your official guess?
That's my question. That's my answer.
Okay. This is The Sun Also Rises. Yeah.
Cool.
In high school, for Quiz Bowl, I made it a habit of just knowing the basic Hemingway novels that come up. I'm not really a literature person, but Sun Also Rises is the one in Spain. A Farewell to Arms is the one where he's the ambulance driver in World War I. And then The Old Man in the Sea is the one where he catches the fish for the whole book. And then the other one is For Whom the Bell Tolls. And I don't remember the plot of that one, but I figured that if I knew the plot of the other three, that if the other one came up, I'd know it was For Whom the Bell Tolls. So there you go. But this is the one that takes place in Spain, which is The Sun Also Rises.
And you can always just sing the song and Whom the Bell Tolls. Whom the Bell Tolls.
What song is
I don't know if it's a song, but I know there's
AC/DC.
Whom the Bell Tolls. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know my AC/DC. So
Come on, brush up.
I'll take a listen after the podcast today. Well, anyway, question 3. Another novel entering public domain is what 1923 novel by Felix Salten that follows the life of the titular deer, which would later be adapted into a Disney animated film?
Ooh, Bambi.
That's correct. Bambi, A Life in the Woods.
Nice.
Question 4. A film going into public domain is Han Kaiser's 1926 adaptation of the story of what legendary German scholar whose legend was popularized by Christopher Marlowe and Johann Goethe?
Can you repeat that one for me?
Yeah. A film going into the public domain is Han Kaiser's 1926 adaptation of the story of what legendary German scholar whose legend was popularized by Christopher Marlowe and Johann Goethe?
Darn. I feel like you when you finished the question with Goethe, I was like, darn, Goethe was my answer. would have been my guess, because that's the only German literary person or scholar that I can think of, aside from Heinrich Heine. But
well, I should say what Mason probably should have said was what legendary fictional German scholar.
Oh,
I think it's fictional.
Well, then I know even less at that point.
This is definitely something you've heard of, though.
Ooh, well, then that's going to make me feel even worse about not knowing it. It's not, no, because Beowulf is from another area in Europe. Is it not?
I'm not sure.
Well,
it's
Beowulf. I don't know.
Well, yeah, from my reaction, you can know it's not Beowulf.
It's clearly not that. Yeah.
Let's see. Repeat the beginning of the question one more time, please.
Yeah. A film going into the public domain is Han Kaiser, or it might be Kuza. It might actually be Kuza. Han Kuza's 1926 adaptation of the story of what legendary fictional German scholar whose legend was popularized by Christopher Marlowe and Johann Goethe?
Oh.
Can I offer my guess to Evan?
How this works?
No, I think you should. I think you should take a guess.
Okay. The only thing that's coming in, I don't know, and the only like Schubert song with Goethe is the Doppelganger that's coming into my mind. That's it. It's nothing.
No, Evan, do you want to go ahead?
It was
Say-
Faust.
It's Faust. Yes.
Mm.
Yeah.
All
It
right.
like
Wow.
suddenly hit me. I was like, oh.
Yep. Yep. That one. And of course, it adapted into the opera by Charles Gounod, as well as the Les Gens Dramatiques by Berlioz. I think we can give Evan half credit there
Okay.
for that one,
Credit?
for the
It's like high
delayed
school.
response. We just had to say Goethe enough times, and then yeah,
Feed it into my brain.
yeah, Goethe. Finally, question 5. A prominent opera entering public domain is what final Puccini opera that was left unfinished until his death, upon his death in 1924, and was completed and debuted 2 years later by Franco Alfano?
Ooh, I do not know my my Puccini timeline, so to speak. So his last one, unfinished. Well, I know that the ones that I know are all like finished, so that's the problem. So
Well, and when it's performed as the completed work as it was completed by Franco Alfano.
was it Edgar?
No, I think that was maybe his very
That was
first one or
early, right?
second.
Yeah,
His very
no.
second one. Yeah.
Like I said, not my not my area of knowledge.
Yeah. Kevin.
I'm gonna guess La Fanciulla del West because that seems like something that would be late.
It was late, but it was not the latest. This was Turandot, actually.
What?
Huh.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
But and he died shortly after starting the final act. He did compose Nessun Dorma, and then died shortly thereafter. So there you go. Well, that's the end of round 2. So Lucas, can you please give us a score update?
Absolutely. Evan has pulled out to a little bit of a lead here with 70 points to Kevin's 40 points, but it's still anyone's game from here on out.
Alrighty, now it's time for round 3. So Lucas, can you please tell us the rules?
Of course. Round 3 is our second general knowledge round. There will be 5 questions for each player, and correct answers are now worth 30 points. Like in round 2, if a player gets a question wrong, their opponent will have the chance to give the correct answer for 15 points.
Very good. Alrighty, Kevin, are you ready?
I am indeed.
Okay. Question 1. What interstate highway connects Schenectady with Binghamton through upstate New York?
I'm gonna guess 81.
Not 81. Evan?
Oh, right. I forgot that I was like, I don't know anything about that area. Uh, is it going horizontal? Is that the direction?
Well,
I don't know that area.
It's going
whatsoever.
from Schenectady to Binghamton. That should
Yeah.
tell you all you need to know.
Thank you. So I don't know. You said 81, so I'm gonna go with I'm gonna go with 90. Why not?
No, this was 86. Yeah, runs east-west through there.
No,
Question
that's
2.
88.
No, is it 88?
86 is west of Binghamton, east of Binghamton.
Oh, shoot,
up
you're
to
right.
Schenectady is 88.
Okay, no, you're right. It is 88. Thank you. I was considering a question for 86, and then I decided to ask about 88 instead, and I wrote the wrong number down. So that's my fault. I apologize. But it is 88.
We were both
Yes.
still wrong. It's okay.
Yeah. No, yeah, both wrong regardless. But yeah, that's always sad when I make mistakes on these. But yes, Interstate 88. 86 is up there, but
We're all human, Matthew.
it happens from time to time. It happens. Question 2. From March 14th to April 13th, 2021, what famous streamer did the subathon, a continuous stream of his daily life, even eating, working out, and sleeping on stream until he broke Twitch's all-time continuous subscriber count record?
Can you give a hint of what game he was streaming?
I don't know that he was streaming a specific game that just says
Oh,
like
he was just
he was
streaming
just
his
like
life.
yeah, just his daily life.
Oh. um,
This was a Mason question.
I
No
was
way.
going to guess Nick Merckx, who is a Fortnite streamer, but
No,
it's not him.
Yeah, Evan.
I know there was some guy named Ninja at one point streaming stuff. That shows how much knowledge I have on the subject. So that's my guess, I guess. Ninja.
Well, you have more knowledge than I do on the subject. The answer is Ludwig. Yeah, he
Cool.
finished with 283,061 subscribers, having gained around 250,000 subscribers during the subathon.
Wow.
Question 3. What name is given to the number 6.022 times 10 to the 23rd?
Matthew. A whole bunch. No, it's let's do like 10 to the 23rd.
There's like a name for it in a specific area of science.
The speed of light.
No. Evan?
Is that a mole? Is that like from the chemistry stuff?
Yes. Yes. Can you name who? Yeah, I think we can give that to you because it's one mole. It's Avogadro's number.
Thank
yeah.
you. What a name.
Yeah, I think we can give that to you though. Yeah, because it's one mole.
Give him half of half credit.
A quarter credit.
Quarter credit.
Quarter credit.
Quarter credit. Yeah, that sounds good.
Gosh.
We got to drag New Jersey at some point here. Question 4.
Why not?
Question 4, Kevin. A 2009 ad for toys based on the hit show iCarly marked the debut of what actress known for her roles in the recent Spider-Man movies and Euphoria?
Zendaya.
That's correct, yes. And finally, question 5. What is the oldest university in the English-speaking world?
I think it's in California. And I think it's
This university in the English-speaking world.
Oh, okay. Thank you for that. Thank you for repeating that. Thank you for repeating that. It's definitely not.
Definitely not California. So, maybe he needs to hear the question again.
I was thinking the United States, but okay.
Broaden that.
The one in England that I know, I'm just gonna do Oxford.
That's correct. Yes.
Okay.
Founded in 1096, it is the second oldest university in continuous operation in the world, following the University of Bologna in Italy, which began teaching in 1088 AD. The oldest in the U.S. is Harvard, which is 1680 something.
Really? Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. Followed closely by the College of William and Mary, 1690.
1693.
Ooh, boom. Got it.
That would have been very embarrassing if I guessed a United States school.
Yeah.
Thank you for repeating that, Matthew.
Of course. Of course.
Thank you.
Alrighty. Evan, are you ready for your 5 questions?
So ready.
Okay. Question 1. What interstate highway ends shortly after crossing into New Jersey on the Walt Whitman Bridge?
95?
No, not 95. Kevin?
Walt Whitman Bridge.
Oh.
86.
No, this is 76, actually. 76 is the one that goes over the Walt Whitman Bridge, and it runs west all the way to I-71 in Northeast Ohio. Question 2. On March 23rd, 2021, the first tweet ever by what founder of Twitter sold for $2.9 million?
Founder of Twitter?
Yes.
That's a good question.
Thank you. I wrote it.
A stumper, if you will.
Yes.
Mark Zuckerberg wasn't involved in Twitter, so not him. Who founded T-Mobile? I feel like that has nothing to do with that, but then I feel like he's done a lot of like philanthropy stuff. Anyway, John Hancock.
No. Kevin? John Hancock did not live to see the founding of Twitter. Only missed it by about 200 years, I think.
Trust me. Made sure of it.
He would have tweeted at the King of England if he had the chance, I'm sure. But
that would have been legendary.
Big lettering too.
Yeah. Just all caps, John Hancock.
If Twitter was like on the news circuit all the time now, like it was for the past 3 or 4 years, I would probably remember, but I don't remember. So I'm just going to say Tim Cook.
No, he's the CEO of Apple. This is Jack Dorsey.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah. And his tweet, and I don't quite understand how this all works, but apparently it was sold as a non-fungible token, or NFT, which gives the buyer the rights to the unique token that connects their name to the artwork, according to Business Insider India. And I quoted that word for word because I'm not really sure what that means. And I didn't want to try to paraphrase it. So there you go. Anyway, question 3. Mikhail Tushmalov was the first person to complete an orchestration of what 10-movement piano suite by Modest Mussorgsky?
Is that pictures at an exhibition?
That's correct. While Tushmalov was the first to complete an orchestration of the piece, it is often overshadowed by the one done by Maurice Ravel 35 years later. Question 4. The Öresundsbron, I hope I pronounced that correctly, connects Sweden with what country in mainland Europe? That's a bridge, by the way.
Okay, thank you for clarifying. It connects Sweden with whom? With like, that's the question?
Yeah. With what country in mainland Europe?
Oh my. Sweden. Is it like Denmark?
It is Denmark. Yes.
Oh, wow.
That and also the Drogen Tunnel connects Sweden 7.5 miles over to Denmark.
Nice.
And that is Sweden's connection to mainland Europe. There's also a train connection too. So there you go. And finally, question 5. What actor, known for his supporting role on Arrested Development, voiced Batman in the Lego Movie?
Is it Will Arnett?
That's correct. He also voiced the Lego version of Batman in the Lego Batman movie and the Lego Movie 2, the second part.
I just watched Arrested Development, so like it's fresh in my mind. I saw Kevin react like, what?
Yeah, I picked that. There was something that the New York Times wrote the other day, and it mentioned Will Arnett because it was something about Batman or whatever, blah, blah, blah. I'd forgotten that Will Arnett was, in fact, Batman. So yeah, there you go. Well, that's the end of round 3. So, Lucas, can you please give us a score update?
Yeah, Evan has extended his lead just a little bit more with 167.5 points to Kevin's 100.
And a half.
Alrighty, now it's time for round 4. So, Lucas, can you please tell us the rules?
Absolutely. Round 4 is our showdown. The two players will be asked to write down their answers to the same 3 questions. Correct answers here are worth 40 points, so anyone's game.
All righty. Evan, are you ready?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, question 1. Located near Traverse City, Michigan, what national lakeshore features spectacular sand dunes along the coastline of Lake Michigan?
Can you repeat it?
Located near Traverse City, Michigan, what national lakeshore features spectacular sand dunes along the coastline of Lake Michigan?
I'm not sure how to phrase the answer. Like, I'm not sure what I'm naming, you know.
What's the name of the
shoreline?
Yeah, the national lakeshore. It's something national lakeshore.
Oh. Okay.
Kevin, you have an answer?
Oh.
Kevin.
Either one. Whoever may go.
You can go ahead.
The Traverse City National Lakeshore.
Okay. Evan?
I said the Michigan National Lakeshore.
No, both incorrect. This is called the Sleeping Bear Dunes National Lakeshore.
Okay.
Yeah. In 2011, it was featured on Good Morning America as the most beautiful place in America. So there you go.
It's hard to believe, but okay.
Well, you have to go to Traverse City to see for yourself.
I guess I will, but like all of America, really?
That's what they said.
No offense to the area or anything, but like, you know, just
Is there a more universally trusted source than Good Morning America, though? I'm just throwing that out there.
I don't think so. I trust everything that comes out of that show.
Institution of public record.
The Library of Congress may as well just close down. Anyway, question 2. What is the strongest muscle in the body based on its weight?
You have one, Kevin? Okay, go ahead.
I'm gonna do the good old pesky singing tongue.
Okay.
For the tongue.
The tongue. Evan?
I was gonna guess like your pelvic floor muscle.
Okay. Kevin, you're really close. This is the masseter, which controls the jawbone. Yeah. According to the Library of Congress, it can close its teeth. It can close the teeth with a force as great as 55 pounds on the incisors or 200 pounds on the molars. There you go.
Wow, it's pretty strong.
Yeah.
Thinking about that, yeah.
And finally, question 3. On March 23rd, 1973, what singer was served deportation papers for his criticism of the U.S.'s involvement in the Vietnam War? So this is a not American singer, but who was living in the United States at the time. Looks like he may know it.
I have a guess whenever.
Okay.
By all means, go ahead. I'll think of somebody hopefully in the next 30 seconds.
Okay,
I'm gonna
Kevin.
guess John Lennon.
Okay, Evan.
I didn't think of British people.
Well, I did say somebody not from the United
No,
States who was living in the
totally
United States at the time. So
yeah, that's a good one.
So
Well,
English-speaking country.
that I will go. Yeah, right. Similar to an English speaking country. I'll go with another Beatle then, just for funsies. I'll go with Paul.
It was John Lennon. Richard Nixon believed that Lennon's anti-war activities would cost him re-election, and so in early 1972, Immigration and Naturalization Service began deportation proceedings against Lennon, trying to use a misdemeanor cannabis possession charge from 1968 against him. However, with the rise of the Watergate scandal and a 1975 court ruling that Lennon could not be deported on political grounds, future administrations dropped the attempt to oust Lennon from the country. So there you go.
Right on.
Well, that's the end of the game. So, Lucas, can you please give us the final score?
Yeah, Evan comes away with the victory today with a score of 167.5. Kevin close behind at 140 points.
Well, congratulations, Evan. You have won. Do you have anything that you would like to say?
No, I mean, it's a nice feeling, but that's about it.
Well, very good. Well, thank you, Kevin and Evan, for being on the show today. And thank you also to Lucas Hauser for doing the scorekeeping today, and to Mason Cook for composing the music. Today's questions were written by Caitlin Fick, Lucas Hauser, Matthew Hauser, Tanner Tim, Mason Cook, and yours truly. And thank you for listening. Please like and subscribe to Trivia Over Tea on your preferred podcast platform and leave us a review if you enjoyed it. Check out our Facebook and Instagram pages at Trivia Over Tea, as well as our Twitter account, also at Trivia Over Tea. You can also find us on YouTube. Please subscribe to us there. And you can find our Twitch feed at twitch.tv/Trivia Over Tea for when we live stream future episodes. And tune in next week when we'll have 2 new contestants and 33 more fantastic questions. Thank you. We'll see you